Hey, what's up? We're starting our C# journey from the ground up. Go ahead, create a new project and pick console app, doesn't matter which one. Console app.NET Framework is the old Windows-only version, while just console app is the modern .NET version that works on any system and uses simpler code. I think it's better to start with .NET Framework because it shows the full structure of a C# program, the namespace, class, and main method, so you really understand how everything fits together before moving to the modern, shorter version. If you didn't pick .NET Framework version, then you should have this page blank, but if you pick .NET, then I'll walk you through the default code real quick. First 5 lines tell us what libraries or namespaces are used, like system for console commands, collections generic for lists, system link provides language-integrated query methods for filtering, sorting, and querying collections. A namespace is like a folder for your code. It keeps classes, methods, and other stuff organized so names don't clash with other parts of your program or other libraries. A class is like a blueprint that defines what something is, its data, and what it can do, its actions. Example, if you were to create a student class, in this case it's like a template that says every student has things like a name and age, in short, data, and can do things like study or take exam, actions represented by functions and methods. And finally, void. Void is one of the keywords you can use in a method to show its return type. Void means the method doesn't return anything. If you put string or say integer instead of void, then it means method returns string or integer. Might be confusing at first, but we'll get to it soon. Basic of all basics in C# is console.writeLine method. In parenthesis, we tell what to write in console. If it is a text we want to see, then we add quotation marks and text within them. Okay, so this opened window was the console, but it closed momentarily because it already ran our program, which is basically one line. We have 2 approaches to let it stay and see our line worked. First one is to place a breakpoint. Breakpoints are used to pause your program so you can see what's happening and find bugs. See on your panel, you should see our console and open it. And see here is out text. Second approach is to add console readLine method. This method waits for the user to type something. Enter or space counts as well. Alright, let's now delete these 2 lines and get to know other most basic stuff, which stays somewhat same in even other programming languages. Specifically talking about ints. Int stays for integer, a data type that holds a whole number. To create a variable, we firstly put a data type, then a name for it and value, ending the line with semicolon. Now, let's do variable that holds name of a student. For sentences or single words, we use string. But we also have a data type called char, which holds only one single character. Here, we could use it to hold student's initial. Alright, now all attention here.
You have my undivided attention.
So, for whole numbers, we have integer. But I don't think I told you that integers come in different sizes, which affects how big or small the numbers can be. Here's a table I feel like you should take a look at. And haha, here come 3 last ones. These 3 data types are for decimal numbers. Luckily, there are only 3. For GPA, double is more than enough, and unfortunately I remembered that only now, while editing this video. You can use float but add an F before semicolon. To use all variables in one sentence, we add a $sign before the quotes. The $sign tells C# that if it sees curly braces inside the sentence, then it should replace them with the variable's value. On the next line, add console readLine. Works. We're now going to create 3 methods to collect different student information for us. And of course, we can collect all info by one method, but since this is an intro to C#, we are gonna do 3. For the first method, type void and name it getFirstName. Void tells us that this method doesn't return anything. So this method will just do action. Next method will return student's age as integer and their favorite class. Why not? Let's get to know them. To return integer, type int and name the method. Same thing with the last method. You most likely noticed that our last 2 methods got underlined. This is the way Visual Studio tells us that these methods won't run because they don't return anything. How do we fix that? Simply add return before the closing brace. but we still have errors because, yes, we added return keyword, but we are returning nothing yet. So go ahead and ask for their age.
Yes, ma'am.
After the return, type convert to integer 16 console read line. Without saving the age to any variable, we convert it right away to an integer and return it. Write the longer version into fav class method. What I do is create a local variable, assign it console read line, and then return the variable. We are going to replace these two lines with a call to our methods. The first method we'll call is our void method. Because it's void, we just type its name with parentheses, that's it. For the other two methods, since they return values, we first need to create a variable to store the value that gets returned. Okay, now we're facing the static problem. Word static means that the method belongs to the class itself, not to an object of the class. In other words, we don't have to create an object to run main. The program can just start directly with this method. If we weren't working in the program class, we wouldn't have to add the keyword static to our methods. Let's set a breakpoint and check if math is the subject that should get returned. Yes, it is. Now click F10. It should get us up here. Right now, you can see the variable is null, meaning it's empty. It has no value yet. After clicking F10 again, it now has our returned value. By the way, a class is a container where we group related variables and methods together. It helps us organize code, so instead of having everything scattered around, we keep the data and the actions that belong to it in one place. Now we're going to see how to send a variable to a method. Think of a method like a little machine that can do something with the information we give it. First, we create a variable, for example, name, and then we send that variable into the method by putting it inside the parentheses when we call the method. Inside the method, it receives this value and can use it. This way, we can reuse the same method with different values without changing its code. It's often best to give the parameter inside the method a different name than the variable we pass in. This helps avoid confusion. The variable outside the method and the one inside the method are actually separate, even if they hold the same value. Renaming makes it clear which one you're working with at any time. Alright, we learned how to create different methods, now loops. Delete or comment all methods and everything we created. Instead, create a void method. This method will mirror your mom with a slipper in her hand when you couldn't learn what 2 plus 2 equals 2. Ask them what 2 multiplied by 2 equals 2. Then create a variable that holds the answer. It better be double because who knows them first graders, they can say 2 by 2 equals 4.5. Then do if else block to check if answer is greater than 0. Inside the else, write something like answer must be greater than 0. Alright, I think this quite obvious. If the answer is greater than 0 and is 4, then good job, you got it right. A+. But if it is anything but 4, then try again until you get it right. Well, this ain't a loop yet, this just a check. To make a loop out of it, firstly let's make some changes in our code above. Move the answer variable before asking them 2 by 2 and assign 0.0 to it. Then add a bool. Bool is the data type that equals either true or false. It is false by default. Now we can create loop itself. Add while loop. This loop is very simple, but when you use it or any other loops, make sure not to make them infinite. So we are basically saying, while answer is incorrect, do what is inside. But make sure to add exclamation mark before your bool. Exclamation mark is the logical not operator. After that, copy these two lines and if else block and move them inside the loop. After giving praise, set is correct to true. Want to know how to break our app? Type something that is not numeric. Oopsie poopsie. We've got an error. This is because our text couldn't convert to double. So, for now we need two variables. One that saves the received text as string and second one that is converted to double. I suggest that we name the double type variable as double answer and the string variable as txt answer or string answer. Therefore, string answer equals console readline. After that, we will try to convert what was typed into double. There's this function that tries to convert something into some other data type. If successful, then it is converted. If unsuccessful, then it returns false and the out variable will be set to 0. Googling 'cause I'm a human being and can forget stuff as well. And apparently, the function is double TryParse. To this method, as the first parameter, we send either string answer or console readline dot to string. Second parameter is the out variable. Out variable is the variable that will be assigned if TryParse method was successful. Now we can test it. Even when we type a word, we get the warning or error sentence, which we expected. Works as planned. And this is it for today. In the next video, we will either build a web app or work with Razor pages. Don't know yet. But what I do know that it will be interesting and fun, so come back and watch the next video. Thanks and arrivederci.